When the police were called to a forest clearing in South Haven, Michigan for a car fire, they were shocked to find not only a destroyed car, but a burned body under a tree. The body had been duct taped around the head and the mouth, and the person's arms had been duct taped behind their back. The police were able to identify the body through dental records as 25-year-old Brandon Silverlight. The first person the police spoke with was Brandon's ex-girlfriend, 22-year-old Allison Martin. Allison claimed that she hadn't spoken with him in over a year, and that he was a terrible boyfriend. Without her knowledge, the police investigated her phone records and found that she had been around the car right around the time it had been set on fire. They also found text messages where Allison was messaging Brandon repeatedly, asking him to come meet her. With this information, the police went to Allison's home with a hidden microphone and confronted her.
You know that he went missing on Friday night, okay? And he was going to, he told his wife that he was going to go do some gaming, you know, with that game that he plays, okay? And that he was going to meet someone. Do you have any idea as to who he was going to meet that night when he left the house?
I don't know right now, because he's such a, type of person. He's so secluded, and, he's a web of lies, and you'd never know what to believe that comes out of his mouth.
Yeah. However, we do have to talk about his disappearance, and we know that you've not been honest with us.
Okay.
We know a lot that you haven't been honest with us, okay? And we know...
Do I need a lawyer?
Well, you know what? That is your prerogative, okay? If you know whether or not you need a lawyer, if that's what you feel you need.
Because I feel like this is turned into an interrogation, and
let me tell you. Can I tell you what we know? How about if I tell you what we know? Is that fair?
That's fine.
But what we do know is this: we know that you were in South Haven on Friday night, Saturday morning. We know that from your cell phone records because and we also know that you were texting him. I think you had 15 times. You text him 15 times on Friday night, and you text him 2 minutes before he left the house. He texts you back, and honestly,
you can't do that. That's an invasion of privacy.
No, we have search warrants. We have court orders. The court orders.
It is not invasion.
We already know.
Yes, it is. It's an invasion of privacy.
Ma'am, I'm going to tell you right now.
I want a lawyer. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Get out of my house now. I want a lawyer.
Okay, very fine. That's fine.
We will leave.
Fine. Get out of my house. I want a lawyer.
You know what, Allison? Quite honestly, you need a lawyer, and you better get a very good one.
The investigation into Brandon's death continued. The police decided to interview Allison's fiance, 24-year-old Justin Terpstra. The first thing they noticed were the burn marks on Justin's arms. After spending some time with him and using some of their interrogation techniques, Justin begins telling some of the truth. He explains that Allison told him Brandon had been abusive towards her while they were together, and now he was stalking her because he desperately wanted to get back with her. She told him that she was in fear for her life, so Justin did what he had to do to protect her, and she had no part in it. The detectives listened to his story for now, but soon they will find out that not only was Allison a part of it, but she masterminded the whole plan.
I had been using Allison's phone, pretending to be her, while I talked to him to try to persuade him to meet me. If I can't get him to come to me, then I'll go to him. Using what I knew about him and his sexual tendencies, I persuaded him to meet with me as her.
Okay. What do you mean by, when you say his sexual tendencies, what's your,
From what I understood, that he was a panty chaser.
Okay.
And he liked,
Where did you get your information from?
Well, this is all from Allison.
Okay. All right.
She had told me about him after the first time he had contacted her, shortly after we had gotten together.
Okay.
It upset her. She texted back with him a few times. I'm not exactly sure what she had told him, but she's not a very aggressive person. I got pretty jealous about it.
Okay.
And then, as I started to check her phone when she wasn't around, basically, when she was sleeping, taking a shower, I would go through her phone and make sure she wasn't talking to anybody. And it just so happened that one time that she was sleeping, she wasn't around, but her phone buzzed and it happened to be him, so started playing his game with him, trying to get, okay, you know, you're not gonna mess with my woman. When I knew I couldn't get him to come to Kalamazoo, you know, I'd have to, you know, if I wanted to settle this, I'd have to go to him. And at this point, with everything that he had said to me, thinking I'm her, it boiled up and boiled up. And see, I was playing along with it, so I mean, it's, you know, he would text something sexual or whatever, how he, you know, would miss getting it on with Allison, and I'd text back, you know, playing along with it, and it would just, sometimes it'd get pretty explicit, and, you know, I'd play along so that it wouldn't tip him off to anything, but it just, you know, it ate me up inside. You know, told her that, yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this guy.
Okay, so when you say you've got to go, you're going to get rid of him, what does that mean?
In my mind, I was going to kill him. I didn't tell her that right off the bat.
What'd she say about it?
She didn't want me to go through with it, and I told her it had to be done.
So you lured him to South Haven. How'd you get him there? Where did you have him?
She knows the territory, so I told her to have him meet her somewhere close and follow her back to her parents' travel trailer. I mean, I had him convinced that he was, you know, that he was going to meet Allison, you know, for, you know, to have a good time.
Then what happened?
I hit him with the log.
He ever see you?
He didn't notice until I hit him that first time.
Where did you hit him?
I tried to hit him, but I must have caught him on the shoulder because it wasn't a solid hit, because if I would have caught him, he probably would have got knocked out.
So it didn't knock him out?
No.
So then what happened?
I swung 3-4 times, and when he was stumbling around, you know, after the third or fourth time hitting him, I grabbed him up and got him in a chokehold, and we ended up wrestling around, and he finally passed out. So I let him go. I jumped up, I grabbed a roll of duct tape that I had set next to the steps. I taped up his hands.
How'd you tape up his hands?
Behind his back. At that point, I was pretty satisfied that he was restrained enough. And I went and I searched his pockets. I looked through his wallet, took his car keys, got into his car, just did a quick overview of what was in there. I put him in the trunk. Went back over the patio and everything. There was some rocks that were kicked askew, and I tried to sweep them back up underneath the trailer. Basically did a walkthrough, made sure I didn't drop anything or leave anything laying around. And I got in his car, and we pulled out of the trailer, the trailer park. And I wanted to take him a decent way from the road, but, you know, I mean, I didn't see it was necessary to take him miles into the woods, you know.
What was he trying to say?
Mostly he was trying to he was pleading for me to take the tape off his mouth so that he could, you know, please. He kept saying please. And I told him there's no point. I wanted him to feel pain before he died. I first stabbed him in his left.
Did he respond to that?
Oh yeah. Stabbed him several times in the legs. At one point, I was satisfied that he had felt enough pain, and then I just, all right, I'm done here. I wanted to get out of there. I told him that he would never be able to hurt anyone ever again. I took a flashlight, the gas and the lighter back to where he was, put a trail of gas to light from a distance, you know, a couple feet away, poured more gas on him, lit another path, lit that, he went up, he ignited, went up in flames. I mean, when she wanted to know why, you know, I let her know that, yeah, I mean, he had hurt you in the past, and now he's trying to, you know, hook up with you, and at this point I knew that he was dipping out on his wife, and he had been dipping out on his wife, and who else was he dipping out on his wife with? You know, that's just not a good guy. And I knew that, you know, I knew about his past. I knew that he had once been a teacher and used to use that to take advantage of girls. in my mind, this was just not a good character. Anyone that he ever hurt, I was going to justify their pain.
Because Allison lied to Justin about Brandon, he believed that Brandon was a terrible person who would cheat on his wife and take advantage of any woman he could find. He would also physically and emotionally abuse these women. What Justin doesn't know is that Brandon is nothing like Allison described him to be. Justin was in an open marriage with the woman of his dreams, and he was very happy. He never stalked Allison begging her to take him back. In fact, it was Allison who stalked him, to the point that he had to get a restraining order against her. With the confession out of the way, the detectives tell Justin about the evidence they have that shows that Allison was involved. Justin immediately changes his story, and he adds that Allison was with him, but only because he made her tag along, and she didn't help him at all.
What you're telling us is pretty consistent with what Allison told. But Allison actually admitted to Sean that she stabbed him once.
Twice.
Twice. That she
couldn't do it anymore.
But then she couldn't do it anymore. She actually said that. What about this? This is the scenario that I really think is what brought this all to a boiling point. Like I said before, the fact that she has HPV, she has a precancerous condition, she's pregnant, she loses a baby, and he's texting her saying his wife is pregnant and going to have a baby here.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
That didn't set well, did it?
No, it didn't.
So that
comes into play.
That's quite a bit of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they can have a kid and you can't.
Yeah.
Your baby, you lose your baby and they're going to have one. Isn't that really and truly what this is all about? And
Partly, yeah.
And Allison is upset too. And she's upset because she can't have a baby and she has this HPV, and although she may not be as responsible for the injuries, it's not like you originally said that you threatened her. She wanted some revenge too, didn't she?
I believe that she stabbed him twice. And I believe that she dropped the knife and said, I can't do this. No matter how hard I'm hurt by him, no matter how much he deserves this, I can't do it.
You guys both went there with the intentions on killing him, and there's no doubt about that. And that she did in fact stab him. It's just a question, at what part in this did she stab him? Did she stab him first? Because I believe that's what she told Sean, was that she stabbed him twice.
And dropped the knife. That's how the other knife ends up there.
So just tell us, I mean, she's already admitted that, so, and you know we're not making it up because it's the truth, and we haven't told you, we have not been dishonest with you about anything, Justin. And so just tell us about that. You can't tell us she did it?
I can't. I'm going down for this. I told her she had to stab him.
No, you know what?
That try.
Hold on. I threatened her that she didn't stab him.
Okay, all right, you said how about it? Okay, it's a great try.
I like that, Jay.
Okay, you know what?
Good.
It's really a great try, okay? And I know that it breaks your heart. But she let the cat out of the bag. She did.
Yeah, because she had to.
So let's just...
She couldn't take it.
I can't do it.
Justin implies that yes, Allison used the knife on Brandon, but he can't get himself to say it out loud. At this point, the detectives have nothing else to say to Justin, but he has a few more questions for them before they end the interrogation.
So she has been charged.
She's been charged.
What has she been charged with?
She's been charged with open murder and conspiracy to commit murder.
Have I been charged?
There is a warrant for your arrest for the same thing. When we say you've been charged, she is here. She has been.
She's in this building.
Yes, she has been.
And there's no way that I can save her.
No.
Now you have a confession.
Yes.
So there's no point in me trying to take anything to trial.
We can't give you legal advice.
No.
You know, you're gonna get an attorney assigned to you tomorrow, and then you'll meet with that attorney, and then I'm not kidding you when I tell you that her attorney called 2 days after and was trying to work a deal. Okay,
Pre-charged.
So, before the charges were even issued. So you need to think about that.
I've never heard of that.
Okay, will her attorney get all this information about my confession?
It's called through discovery, yes.
Yeah.
No.
As well as your attorney will get everything through of hers.
Yeah.
What it boils down to is that I'm obviously never getting out of prison. But during our stay, because we were involved in the same case, will they prevent contact between us? Let's say, I get convicted, she gets convicted, and she's doing her time in a woman's prison, I'm doing my time in a man's prison. Now, I know that it's not against the rules to write to someone in a woman's prison, but since we are involved in the same crime,
That would be DOC rules, that's not my rules.
right. We are now tied together deeper than anything could tie us
Oh, yeah.
because of this. So, I'm not even 25 yet. I don't turn 25 for another 12 days.
18th.
So, it's going to be a long time going through this shit. And I still love her, and apparently I'm getting the feeling she still loves me. And I'm just wondering, because if we won't be able to contact, yeah, we'll have our families, but, we're still tied together. So, it would be able, at least be able to write back and forth to each other. Maybe we can, I know it's not against the rules to write other inmates. Because, I'd have, on my first bit, I'd have, buddies that I've locked with for a year and a half, go to a different joint, stay corresponding. And that there's, female prisoners who somehow get, and they correspond with other male prisoners.
Before they end the interrogation, the detectives are going to give it one last try to get Justin to admit that Allison played a much bigger role than he previously admitted to.
When we were talking about Allison's participation and stuff, and you sat there and you said, well, how about, it's kind of like, well, will you buy this? And you know what? It was a little lighthearted, but in all honesty, we need to know Allison's participation. We know, there's no doubt with the text and the other things that have gone on that she helped you plan this. She's every bit as angry as you are. And I think you're angry, but I think she's more angry than you are. And I think that anger from her transferred over to you because it was making life difficult. And so we know that she's more involved in it than you are initially. Yes, you primarily carried it out, but she's every bit as guilty as you are. And it, quite honestly, it doesn't even matter if she stabbed him or not. The bottom line is, it's all premeditated. She participated in luring him there. It's just like the example that I always use is that if him and I rob a bank, I'm the driver, he goes in and robs a place, I'm the driver, I don't even go in. I'm just as guilty as he is for bank robbery.
We were both being charged with open murder and conspiracy to commit murder.
Yes, sir.
What does that carry?
Well, it depends. Open murder leaves the jury the opportunity, or judge or jury, whichever way you prefer to go, the opportunity to come back with either guilty of first-degree murder, or guilty of second-degree murder. That just gives them the option, okay? And that's why we charge that way. We don't charge specific first degree. We charge it open murder so that the jury can come back however they think, whatever they think is appropriate. Okay? So let's talk about the text. Those came from Allison, right?
Yes.
Thank you. And in regards to the plan and the setup, she was doing all that texting?
She was doing the texting under my influence. I told her
You were telling her what to say.
Oh, well, I wasn't telling her what to say. I just told her to play his game and convince him to meet us.
Okay. She sent the messages without being intimidated, correct?
Correct.
Okay, you did not threaten her, did you?
No.
Okay. How many times did she stab him?
Yes.
Okay. Did she inflict any other injury? Did she use the club on him at all? Did she kick him? Did she do anything else?
No.
Did she speak to him, Jay? Did she say why? Did she tell him why this was happening to him? You spoke to him, and you made it clear. Did she say why?
Basically, she said something along the lines that, doesn't it hurt when someone else has control over you?
Justin was blindly in love with Allison, to the point where he believed everything she said and would do anything she asked him to do. The detectives will now reveal to him that Allison has a history of stalking her ex-boyfriends, and she is very good at manipulating and lying to get what she wants. Justin slowly begins to realize that he just threw his life away for a woman who was in love with another man, and he was just her pawn to get it done.
You don't have to kill somebody to make them leave you alone. Okay? There's these things called personal protection orders, of which she's very familiar with because Sean put one on her. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
He did, because she was stalking him, harassing him. He had a personal protection order against her. Sean, I'm sorry. Brandon did. Because she was obsessed. Remember we talked about those police reports? She was stalking him.
Readily admitted to the Kalamazoo City officer that she was obsessed with him. This was December of 07.
She thinks that Brandon's happy, and Brandon now is having a child, and that she was just jealous of that whole entire situation.
I don't know, maybe I can't remember. I don't know if maybe they started dating again or something, but he was not.
So you're not even sure that he initiated contact with her 2 months ago. You're just going by what she said.
Correct.
So she could have made this whole thing up to get you all stirred up, mad, angry enough to help her carry out something.
I don't believe she would do that.
Okay.
All I can ask is your opinion on this. But with something like this, it usually gets life without, right? But even with a murder one, they don't necessarily always give life without parole, right?
Murder one is life without parole.
It is life without parole.
In the end, both Allison and Justin would be found guilty of first-degree murder and sent to prison for the rest of their lives. What are your thoughts on this case? Please share them in the comments below.